All right, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ken, and I'm one of the mentors at Coin. And Koinonia is a Christian group on the UC Davis campus, and we want to welcome you. And glad that you can join us tonight. I hope that you guys are looking forward to coming to UC Davis. So before we get started, I wanted to introduce our panelists for the night.
Hi, I'm Leo. I'm a second-year chemical engineering major, a class of 2022.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Tong. I am a sophomore and I am a double major in sociology and psychology.
Hi everyone, I'm Lillian. I'm a second-year electrical engineering major.
Hello, I'm also a second year and my name is Natalie. I'm a double major in sociology and anthropology.
Awesome. So for today's webinar topic, we're going to discuss the question, how to survive the quarter system. Now, you guys might be feeling either anxious, nervous, or some of you guys might actually be excited. But I hope that today's webinar will be helpful for you adjusting to the quarter system. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments and chat them. And after the webinar, we'll answer them. All right, so Leo, Sophia, Lillian, Natalie, thank you guys for joining me tonight to share your thoughts on how to survive the quarter system school. So as we begin, I wanted to first ask, what is a positive quality about the quarter system?
All right, I can go first. Personally, I really like the quarter system because if there's one thing everyone knows about the quarter system is that it's really short. 10 weeks and then you're done. You just finals, pull through it, and then you're done with your quarter. So that makes the end of your quarter much more relaxing because you don't need to worry about, oh, should I be studying for this midterm or am I behind on that project? If you have a very difficult class, just pull through those 10 weeks and you're done. What's also great is that you can take so many more classes because you've got that extra term per year. You can take up to like 4 different classes per year on top of a semester system. So you can meet so many more people because you interact with more classmates, you have more professors, you meet more TAs. There's just so many more opportunities and such greater variety in the quarter system. That's what I really love about it.
Man, I think I can agree with Leo that the best thing about the quarter system is that it's only 10 weeks. So that means that it like really allows you to just to focus on your material and not get lazy. It keeps you on your toes so you can concentrate and just pull through until you take your midterm and until those 10 weeks are over. I think also just like a great thing about the quarter system is that you can maybe after syllabus week and maybe after those midterms, you can just relax and just let anxiety flow out a little once you get to see those therapy puppies that come in week 5 and week 6.
Man, that's awesome. Like, I guess when the quarter system is only 10 weeks, you go through more classes. That's pretty cool. I think UC Davis offers a lot of various ranges of classes. I heard that there's even a tractoring class that people have been advised to take if your schedule permits. But those are some interesting classes that you can actually take. So thank you guys for sharing that. All right, just moving along. What do you think about on the weekend before the quarter starts, and how do you prepare?
I can go again. So I like to organize my weeks ahead of time. So I plan everything out on Google Calendar, be it from class times, when am I walking to different classes, to when are my meals. Sometimes I even plan out, okay, on this day, I'm going to sleep from this time to that time. And so what really helps is to identify those classes that are going to be harder and just plan out your study times. As Lillian said, the quarter system really keeps you on your toes, so it's always good to be prepared. Another thing I really enjoy doing is to identify other people I'm going to take classes with, see if I know any friends who I can form study groups with, who I can just talk about the class. Sometimes it helps that you know someone else in the class, be it to help you with homework or even just to complain about the difficulty of the course when you don't want to do your homeworks anymore.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that before classes start can be a little nerve-wracking. Personally, I like to look at the schedule and try to have an idea as to where my classes are, because even though Davis, the town itself, can seem small, but the campus is pretty big. So for me, I still tend to get lost sometimes. So I try to like have an idea as to where I'll be commuting because some buildings actually can look pretty alike. So just having an idea as to like where you'll be going from one class to another, or if you have a gap where you can study around your next nearest class. That way you don't have to like commute too much. I feel like that's a great way to then ease like and not stress so much. So doing that before, like taking care of that before can really help. And also the first week can be thought of as like an intro. So thinking as to like what you would say when you're asked to like introduce yourself, like your name and your major. That way you're not caught like on the spot and you just don't blank. I feel like it's very good to have an idea as to what you would like to share by yourself and just fact or something. I feel like that can help as well. So you're not so stressed that first day of classes. Thinking of all these things before it can really help.
Thank you guys for sharing. Fun fact, UC Davis is one of the largest campuses out of the UCs in terms of acre. And that's because UC Davis is #1 school in agriculture. So it's a huge campus, but I know that it can be intimidating at times, but I hope that, yeah, thank you so much for your advice on just being able to get familiar with the campus so that you don't show up late to your first day of class when the quarter starts. All right. Now, just moving along, what was one of your worst horror stories about the quarter system and what would you do differently?
Ooh, I can share on this question. So I don't remember this was like during my freshman year or sophomore year, but I just remember there was one quarter where I literally had no time for myself because I was overcommitted to too many things on campus. I was working, I was volunteering, I was committed to Coin, and also I was a part of a dance team, which requires a lot of practice outside of academics. And I also want to do well in my academics as well, and also like keep maintain my relationships with my friends and also meet new friends as well. So I really had to learn how to set my priorities straight and think about what was most important to me. And I had to cut some of the activities that I really wanted to do out of my schedule so that I can think about like my mental health and also like physical health, because I wasn't getting enough sleep, nor was I even eating 3 meals a day, which is so unhealthy. Please eat your meals and also schedule your meal times on Google Calendar or something. No, it's definitely like a horror story because my schedule was so packed, after I felt burned out, there was really no time to relax or to recover from that burnout, because the next day I still have classes, I still have work, I still have all the responsibilities I had committed myself to do in the beginning of the quarter. And even the weekends, like they're only 2 days. It sounds like a lot in high school, but in college, it's not enough. You need 3-day weekends to fully recover from the quarter and the whole week, really. So what I would do differently is definitely schedule not just my class time, homework time, study time, but also my relax time. So time to just relax and not schedule anything, like do nothing, literally. And that way I found myself becoming more happier with the activities that I've already committed myself to doing. Because, if you're burned out, then even the activities that you enjoy, you can't really enjoy them anymore if you're so tired and you're not like mentally, they're ready for it. So that's one thing I would suggest.
I think I also am guilty of trying to balance too many things at once. And a horror story that comes out of that is just trying to pull an all-nighter. Actually, I pulled an all-nighter once every week in one of my quarters. It wasn't fun. I was just trying to catch up on readings, trying to finish projects, and it was just me just trying to just do so many things. And in the end, it didn't bring much out of it. I remember just trying to finish a project, an engineering project that I had to figure out a code, and it just wasn't working. So once I was like giving up, I just ended up going to office hours, and the TA was really helpful, and she was able to find the error in my code super fast while I was just like struggling in the middle of the night. So one thing that I like learned from that was just stop struggling in silence and then just reach out and ask TAs, and then just go to office hours whenever you're struggling, so you don't have to pull all-nighters, and then just just be stressful all by yourself at night.
Thank you, Sophia and Lillian, for sharing that advice. And I think, yeah, the course system can be overwhelming at times, but I think as long as you're able to plan out your schedule, either using a calendar or Google Calendar, or even utilizing some resources on campus, I think that's definitely beneficial so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So glad that you guys were able to make it out and learn from your experiences. So yeah, now moving along, I wanted to give you a scenario of what the quarter system might be like. So the scenario that I have here is you have 3 midterms on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. How would you schedule out a study plan to prep for all 3 midterms and do well?
Right. Well, it seems very daunting, but unfortunately, this happens very often in the quarter system. It's kind of how it works. Sometimes you even have assignments on top of this, so you definitely have to balance your time well. When I look at this, I see that Tuesday and Wednesday, there isn't very much time between them. So I essentially treat them as if they're on the same day. And I aim to have all of my studying done before the Tuesday exam for these both exams. That way on Tuesday evening, I can relax a little bit. On Wednesday morning, I can just lightly refresh myself before the Wednesday exam. The Friday exam, you do have a little bit more free time. So before your exam. So try and schedule a bit of time for practice over there, but definitely don't plan to cover all of your lecture content before the Friday exam. So another great thing is you want to schedule your time around office hours that your lecturers and your TAs have. As Lillian said, those can be really helpful. So try and read up your lectures, come up with questions, and then try and arrange the time to go to these office hours, even if it's just to listen to what other people have asked the professor. Definitely try and figure out ways to attend those.
Yeah, I think Leo gave a concrete example of how to approach this kind of situation. And like you mentioned earlier, that this is a very well situation that could happen. And depending on the classes and the style of work that you have, you can anticipate something like this and be able to plan out so that you don't get overwhelmed. So thank you so much, Leo, for sharing how you would tackle this type of scenario. All right, and just a final thought about the quarter system. I wanted to know, what are your favorite productivity apps / methods and why?
I would definitely recommend using Google Calendar because it's really great. I use Google Calendar to schedule all the activities that I have to do, as well as my assignments, so like big deadlines such as midterm exams and papers that I do. I also schedule those as well. It just, like, personally, I don't memorize my schedule. I just use Google Calendar to tell me what's next within the next hour. And I use like notifications and reminders. So that's nice because I can, use my brain to remember some studies material, And something else that I also like to use is My Homework, which is an online website. I use My Homework to write down all of my assignments. And it's really nice because you can filter it. So you can like look at just one class, or you could look at multiple classes and see when the assignment is due next. I like things digitally, so I like that it's a online website where I don't need to write down my assignments hand by hand. Another thing I like to do also is when I'm at home and I'm doing my assignments, I keep my phone away from me because it always distracts me. So I like to put it in the food pantry, which sounds weird, but it works. So I keep doing it. And I think it's really helpful because that way there's a distance between my phone and between my phone and me, so that if I have the urge to check Instagram or Snapchat or something, I feel too lazy to get up and go to the food pantry and check my phone. So it motivates me to just stay put and at least do my homework for another hour or so.
Something that helps me just be productive is just write a to-do list. And actually that actually just helps whenever I feel overwhelmed. So I just do a to-do list. And then after that, I use an app called, actually the app is called Tomato Timer, but it's based on Pomodoro technique, which just uses short intervals of time to help you be productive. So let's say you can use a 15-minute timer to do a specific task or maybe even study. And then after that time is over, you can do a 5-minute break. And usually you can increase those time intervals to help you focus for longer periods of time to study or to just do a specific task in your to-do list. So usually that's what I do when I feel overwhelmed and I just want to be productive and get those tasks out of my to-do list.
Yeah, I can agree. As Sophia was saying about your phone being a big distraction, I should try that pantry option myself. But personally, I like to more old school, like to just write things down. It just helps me to actually physically write it down and then see the layout of like things I have to get done for that specific week. I feel like I guess I'm a more visual learner, and just making it like very clear what are any critical like deadlines by maybe making them in bold or in red to like remind me that these things are coming up in my planner. I feel like it really helps me a lot. And then my reminders app on my phone, I really like to set those notifications like within minutes of like an event, or I use that more as like for daily reminders, and then my planner for like the long term or like in coming days, you know. And then those would be my two, the planner as it's physical, and then the reminder because I have those notifications there on my phone like on the go.
Thank you guys so much for sharing those productivity tips and just different ways in which you're able to just focus and zone in to study for your upcoming midterms or homeworks and assignments. And I know that you guys have different tips as well. So if you guys like to share, please comment them in the chat, and we'd love to hear some of the ways or some tips and advice that you guys also have and things that you've tried that worked. So awesome. Thank you guys for sharing your experiences and advice on how to survive the quarter system. I hope that you guys found this really helpful and gives you a better picture of what the quarter system is actually going to be like. And now at this time, we wanted to give you guys an option to drop any questions in the chat to just have us just answer any questions. So yeah, if you guys have any, just please send them our way and we would love to answer them.
Another cool thing about Davis is in addition to the tractor class, there's also a coffee class. So you get to make your own coffee. And I actually took that class and it was really fun and really interesting, even though I don't drink coffee, but it was really cool that I could take a class like that.
All right, guys. So there was a question from Kamal. Hi, I'm glad that you're able to join us. And the question is, what is the minimum number of units needed for a full time during a quarter? So any of you guys want to just quickly answer that?
I can quickly answer. It's 12 units. 12 units is your minimum. That's also your minimum for financial aid as well. But if you have more questions about this, definitely ask your advisor. They can help you plan things out in more detail.
Awesome. Thanks, Leo. Okay, well, that concludes our webinar today. And before we end, I have a couple of announcements. But before that, We wanted to share a video that we created on just additional productivity tips. So I will share this video right now.
Hi guys, my name is Asia, and my friends and I want to say congrats and welcome to UC Davis. On today's episode of The Big Questions, we'll give you 5 tips that have helped us survive at UC Davis so far. So take it away, Lillian.
Hi everyone, I'm Lillian. One thing that really helps me get quality work done is having a good workspace. Your environment really affects how well you can focus and get work done. So tip number 1, create an environment that engages your attention. This can include anything like audio, visuals, and even smells. I'll show you mine. Hopefully that inspires you to make your space your own and help you maximize productivity. Let me pass it over to Kwa. He has some advice for some classes you'll be taking.
So tip number 2, go to office hours. They're crucial to help you to succeed and excel in class. So what are office hours? There are times outside of class where you can meet with your professor in a smaller setting and ask questions about the things you learn in class. A lot of the times I was able to finish my homework there and even get hints on what would be on the exam. Even if you don't have any questions in mind, coming in just to listen to questions from other students can be really helpful. So in my opinion, that's totally worth it. Take the time to attend them even though they might be virtual. Well, that's it from me, but Emma's got some sweet advice on how to take notes.
Thanks, Kwa. So one way to boost productivity is to take notes that capture your attention. There are tons of ways to take notes, so you just have to find one that works for you. For example, you can take notes on plain bind paper, you can type out your notes on PowerPoint slides, you could write key notes on Post-its and stick it into your textbook, or you could print out your lectures and write on those. But personally, I'm a visual person, so I love writing them out and color coding everything and drawing graphics from time to time. The most important thing is to find the best way that helps you retain information. So don't be afraid to try out different methods to see what fits your style. Oh, it looks like Aaron's outside. Let's see what he's up to.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and if you're anything like me, you believe that staying healthy is a necessary part of getting the most out of your day and time at school. For example, exercise makes me less stressed, less anxious, more focused, and more positive. So tip number 4, make sure to take care of your body. Find a regular exercise routine, eat well, meal prep, check out some IM sports, or drop by the ARC. Find a way that you enjoy that keeps you healthy. That's it from me.
Alright, so the last tip I have for you is short, but definitely the most important. These next 4 years in college are crucial. This is a time where you'll be making memories and achieving your goals. So make friends and find people with whom you can genuinely connect and do life with. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let us know in the comments below on how you plan to implement these tips and tricks, or if you have something helpful that you want to share with us. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you so much for that video and all those tips. Yeah, just going along with the announcements, after this webinar, please come and join us for our meet and greet Zoom Hangout. The link will be posted in the comment section, and we're looking forward to meeting you all. Moving along, the next Saturday, we actually have come and join us for our second webinar called Davis Hacks, where we'll be discussing tips and tricks about UC Davis. And after, we'll be playing virtual board games. So that will be on May 30th, 2020. And if you're also interested, we have a mentorship program called Aggie Buddies, where the links will be down in the chat if you have any more questions and more information, and please check out our website. So this concludes our announcements. Thank you guys for joining, and we will see you at the Zoom Hangout. So see you guys next time, and thanks for joining us.